gets the crowd going, and let's have some fun. So, all right. So I've started streaming now. Hit the live stream. Well, again, we're gonna wait a couple minutes, Brown. So finish up whatever you got in your mouth, and then we'll chat it up, get some audience in here, and we'll start really our program at 7:05.
All right, cool.
Great.
That means I can eat chips for 5 minutes.
You might want to mute yourself because the audience can hear it. So. Right. Last thing we all want to hear is. So, Fish, you really liking Gudra? Man, I have found that crunch on Charger Bug.
Mandibus, man.
Mandibus, baby. Smack, 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 smack.
Wait, can you guys hear me crunching, though?
We hear 100%. This. Now we can hear you crunch when you got.
It's a plan. I'm waiting to talk about Pokemon of Crunch.
I know. I don't know if there's that many crunch Pokemon in the world's meta. Let's see. What Pokemon
Gyarados.
has crunch? Gyarados. I see Blastoise.
Does not have Crunch.
Does not have crunch, right? No, that one's got Ice Beam. What up?
Oh, Drapion.
Yeah, Lyle's just kind of walked away. Guzzlord has crunch. I'll tell you one Pokemon that has crunch that I'm pretty sure you know has crunch, but when I tell you, you'll be like, "Oh yeah, that's right." Can you figure it out? Nope.
Guzzlord.
Nope. I already said Guzzlord.
That's it. Skuntank.
What is the one Pokemon that you wouldn't think has crunch? Because clearly you're not thinking about it having crunch right now.
In the world's meta?
In the world's meta. Ding, 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 ding. She's got it. She's deadly with it. She might never need it ever. It's Frostlass with crunch.
I think there was one meta where it was a viable option. One time.
Catacombs?
I don't know.
Was it Catacombs? All right. Brown, are you almost done eating so we can get this going in a couple minutes?
Yeah, I'm waiting for
live.
Yeah, we are live right now. We have SS Thorn in the chat.
Hello.
We got Cerebral saying yo Brown Baller. So yes.
Hello, Cerebral. I just gotta get pregame ready those Cheetos to help you think.
Right? I mean, we've got the World Championship meta that we're going to be breaking down. You got to get all the proper brain power in there. You got to crunch away at all the fog and all that. Get that out of there. Get that Cheeto dust power. Nobody else does Cheeto dust power to help them with the regionals? Fish, did you, pop in some Cheetos before you went on stage, Lyles? Anybody?
No, I do goody powder.
I would have made top 16 in Bologna if I'd popped some Cheetos.
I would have bet that. You said you did Vidi Power?
Goody powder. Goodies.
Goody. What's goody powder?
Maybe Brown Baller knows.
Freaking Canadian.
Is that like a goodie bar?
No, it's like it's an American thing. It's a powdered form of Advil, basically. It's Advil, Tylenol, and caffeine in a powder form. You take one of those.
Pop a bunch of paracetamol.
You're feeling great going up on stream.
You're feeling focused.
It's like a PED, basically.
It's actual Adderall. Oh no. Well, we don't.
What's your secret?
We don't suggest anybody following all of the footsteps. But if you have your own ways of getting through the stage, it is a monster. So do what you need to do.
Before going on stream, I always eat donuts.
Nice. I used to have a nice, cup of water, cup of soda, kind of settle the stomach.
What's a soda?
Settle. It's a lovely beverage that's carbonated. It's caffeine.
And you mean pop?
I mean, I know the sound the can makes, but the liquid inside is soda. So, all right, we're gonna start in 1 minute here. We're gonna break down this meta. I'm so excited. I'm just happy. We got Pallettown PVP in the house tonight. Yes.
Yeah, we do.
Yes. All right, Brown, you almost done?
I'm waiting on you guys.
All right, well, I'm going to put the bag of chips away, and I will count us in.
Fucking Cheetos down,
Put
baller.
the goddamn... Yes. The minute you put that away, I know that we will be ready. All right, audience.
I hear you crunching.
We're having a great night. All right, audience, get ready because we're about to break into the DevonCorps World Championship. Welcome all to the Poke Battle Network here on YouTube. I am Sosaflow. With me, as always, is my man Brown Baller. He's been with us the entire time of Season 1. How you doing today, Mr. Cheeto?
I'm pretty good. You know, I just had some Cheetos. I feel pumped. I feel excited. I know chat is loving it. It is time to go over everything today. This is going to be epic.
This is going to be epic. You and I had an epic season of 6 amazing months breaking down every tournament in every meta and bringing up some incredible spice through our Poke Battle Network channel. But there are other groups out there like Matthew Brewer doing it all the way from England. Big shout out to him and Becca Chu for not being out there holding those down with their guides. But we have Pallettown PVP joining us today, Brown, and they are here. They also provided amazing guides and analysis through these wonderful metas with their first looks that were live on twitch.tv. And we want to welcome in Fish on a Heater and Lyles Jeff all the way out from Pallettown PVP. Welcome in, gentlemen.
Hey, I'm here with my bestest Pallettown buddy, Lyle Jeffs. We are ready to smash this analysis. We're just going to smash it in the face. Didn't inhale any Cheetos, though, beforehand. So I don't know how ready I am, but we do have, like, an Australian Tim Tam packet in the cupboard here that I could smash just quickly before we get into it properly, if that'll help.
I don't know. Jeff, are you muted? Lyles, are you muted? Uh-oh.
That was an excellent decision by Sosaflow to mute Lyle Jeffs.
Not at all. Never would I ever mute Lyle. No way.
Can Lyle hear us?
I think he can hear us. Yeah. Do you want to just leave and then come right back? You can just pop off and pop right back on the stream. On the video, we'll see if that just resets it. Yes, I don't understand how that happened. He was literally on here with us like
just there
5 seconds ago. The minute I didn't even touch a button, I just said, "Let's begin," and instantly he is muted. So he should be popping right back up.
So that means I need to get more Cheetos while we wait.
No. Oh, what is happening with Lyle's? Sir?
Could you not hear me before?
No, we can't.
Oh, we can hear you now.
There we go.
It wasn't a massive prank that we planned beforehand.
Did you not hear me this whole time at all?
We could not.
No.
No one said anything, so.
Oh, well, no, we heard you up
we
until
were saying it
up until we started, and then all of a sudden you just were muted. Like we heard you talk about the Cheetos, but because you asked you were asking about. Cheetos being an American thing. So we had you up until start. But anyways, Fish on a Heater welcomed you in, sir. We are grateful to have you. Go ahead and introduce yourself and say hi to everybody. We have SS Thorn out there who's a huge fan.
Yeah, basically excited to break down this meta. And it's been a very fun, inaugural season of the Devon Championships series. And excited to wrap it up and see what they have cooked up for the World Championship.
Yeah, they've got some stuff cooked up that has been super fun. And I wanted just ask you guys through your guys' community and what you guys have did, both you and Fish here, not to break off from what we're talking about earlier, but when you guys were doing your metas and breaking them down, did you guys find yourselves having fun with your analysis through when you guys were doing it with Pallettown PVP?
Yes, very, very good. Very insightful. Definitely helped me a lot in my team building for the metas to be able to sit down and kind of go through it. So I would say it was a big part of my success that I had this last season. I think I finished like 7th on the leaderboards, which is not too bad considering the amount of tournaments I did. So yeah.
Fish, did you feel that way too with the metas when you guys were analyzing for
100% concur. If I had not been doing those analyses with Lyle, then I probably would have found a way to bring a Joltik into my battles. I would have, gotten a 40% win rate. I would have. They probably would have just deliberately left me off the leaderboard because it was so embarrassing. So yeah, I'm glad that I had Lyle there to whip me into shape whenever I came up with some sort of weird suggestion.
You guys provided amazing content. I watched you guys, and you guys were thinking up of stuff that Brown and I weren't thinking of. Because when we were breaking down stuff, we were coming up with wild play styles and stuff like that. And I was like, I would always be like, okay, I wonder what Lyles and Fish are thinking about. And then you guys would bring up like Tentacruel, which didn't even cross the radar for Knockout Cup until when I saw you guys. I was like, oh, yeah, because that had just gotten the skull buff then, too. So I felt like we were just coming up with so much fun stuff. Brown, did you feel that way as well? Like,
I did, yeah. It was definitely so much fun this season. Like, all these metas were just amazing. Just a lot of fun for us to do a lot of unique things and just get back into the swing of things of doing, I love team tournaments. Team tournaments team gameplay is the best. Mm-hmm. But that's solo gameplay. Sometimes it's just nice to just relax. Kick on some music and play a little solo.
I agree. I love it. It's super fun, and that's why we're here, because it took a very giant hit in the community and a kind of a long period of time, but we finally got grassroots back up. And all of us jumped on it, and that's why we're here tonight, because all of us have been there from day one of this, being able to give you, the battlers, some amazing analysis and some amazing tournaments and organizations and building up our communities, as we had tried with the Sylph grassroots back in the day. Now we've got Devon here, 6 wonderful metas, and now we're going to get and talk about it as a TO over at Poke Battle Network. I tried to do locals. I had my locals come through. I only had a couple. I'm in a smaller kind of community, a smaller town, but it was building, and it was regular locals. So I was happy to have the same people that showed battling interest show up, but the growth wasn't as big as I would have liked it to be. But I know that there are other TOs out there that had a lot more success, like Fish on the Heater and Pallettown PVP, as they ran their tournaments and had amazing success with their remotes. Fish, how was it as a tournament organizer trying to get people to come and join these DevonCorps metas?
You know what? I was thinking about this during the season, where you've got incredible tournament organizers like Zion, who's out there, who he will put in the legwork to get players to his tournaments. Like, he will DM everyone on his Rolodex individually and tell them, hey, here's this tournament we got going. Here's what time it starts. Be great to have you along. And, he gets the results that way. Like, his tournaments are absolutely popping whenever they happen. We just kind of put our tournament out there, tagged people in the server, and then whoever wanted to turn up, turned up, and we still managed to get some decent numbers. We were getting, sometimes we were getting 6 rounders, sometimes only 5, but we were skirting that line. So I was pretty reasonably impressed with our turnout for those tournaments.
Wow, 5 or 6 rounders. That's incredible. That's great. And especially remote. But you're established Discord. You've been around for many years now with Pallettown PVP. And you and Lyles have been just doing meta after meta on first looks with your your live streams. So it's great that you've gotten these battlers to come through, and a lot of battlers that I've seen, because like I said, I didn't have many opportunities. I had a couple of remotes where we were able to get at least 6 people from my Arizona community to come out, but it still was only like 2 or 3 where we were able to only get 2 or 3 rounds. So it was still really tough to just get the live and the remote going in such a small community. But it's great to hear that all these other communities are going through, and it was 6 wonderful metas. So the fact that you had 5 to 6 large tournaments, I applaud you, and that's great for those trying to get those rounds. And what wonderful metas they were, Brown and Lyles, as they just were 6 incredibly intricate metas, and I'd like to hear from you guys, because you guys had the best when it comes down to team building. Y'all know how to pick the best Pokemon and stuff like that. Brown and Lyles, why don't you guys start us off? Tell us about the creativity of the meta. How did you guys feel about the creativity of this meta, of these metas of the season?
I feel like these metas, it felt like no matter what game you were playing, it was always really close, and it's very, very nerve-wracking the entire battle. It's just like it could have been gone to either opponent the entire game, which is how these solo metas are supposed to be. There really wasn't any too dominant matchups there, which is nice. Sure, there's obviously matchups that are winning and lose better than others in certain scenarios, but that's PvP for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought overall, like, not every meta was my favorite, but I'm sure maybe if it wasn't my favorite meta, it was somebody else's, right? So, and there was definitely some that I liked more, but overall, I think they did a pretty good job balancing, like, of the versatility of Mons being used, also like trying to limit some RPS, as well as making it interesting by like banning some Mons that maybe people are a little tired of seeing from Open Great League. So I think overall they did a really good job.
Yeah, they did. I mean, at the beginning of January on Wishful Wonders, who would have thunk that Scold Wish Cash was just going to be so dominant in OGL and in DevonCorps Knockout and in Devon, what was the second one? Rainstorm or something like that. Like, Wish Cash was a monster for the first 2, but then they understood, like, yeah, we got to get rid of it, and they evened it out again, and they found other ways to do it. What was your guys's, and this will be for all 3 of you, what was your favorite meta? If you had to pick a favorite meta, what meta did you like?
I was thinking about this. Yeah, Zodiac, I think, was my favorite meta.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is so easy. Sovereign. I've never felt a meta I felt more comfortable in, especially like when I was did that practice video with Fish. Like, like he said the Oink, and I'm like, yeah, that's pretty good. And then like I played against him, like, man, this thing's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like just the feeling of just realizing how good something is, like, especially while doing it with on these videos, it like the realization of that is just fantastic. It really put some spark into battling again for because obviously that big gap for us, it was very detrimental, I feel like, to a lot of us, but just that feeling of just hope and rejoice that these new metas have brought to us is fantastic and where we need to be.
Yeah, I felt the same way about Sovereign Cup, and I would have put Sovereign Cup out there, but I just love the intricacy of genetics and just the whole thought process, and not the new form genetics, not for Battle Frontier genetics, which I think they needed to do after genetics got a little RPS there for gym breakers. But the new, but I do like the old genetics for just 1 month, finding one tournament and doing it, going in there with a mindset of parents with ghosts, and then just trying to find something to work for you. Just an incredible meta, and I truly loved it. It was super fun. It was so creative. So I felt that was good. But I'm right there with you. I felt that there was so much meta, so many metas that you were just so close to being down to the wire coming off of it. Fish, did we get yours?
Oh, no. And that's because I don't feel like I could pick between my children. Like, they're all... But seriously, it's Sovereign.
It's which one?
Yeah, Sovereign.
Sovereign?
I'm exactly the same as Brown
good.
Baller. Like, just all the normal types, just the attack of the normals. Normal types rise again.
Yeah,
I mean, Sovereign was good, don't get me wrong, but just, I don't know why, like, that was the Tundra, or not Tundra, Zodiac was the first time I used the Shadow Frost last. And that thing was crazy, dude. Like, it was just so much fun to use.
Avalanche or triple axle?
Triple axle. Like I was just like degenning through people. Like they would save 2 shields, and I'm like, bro, you're not making 3 charge moves here, guy. Like, I'm fast moving you down.
Awesome. That's real. That's fun.
You'd powder snow down like an Excadrill there.
Oh yeah, extra drill was cooked. They thought
yeah.
extra drill was their frost last counter. It was hilarious.
That's so funny. Yeah. What great metas, what great concepts, you guys. This is wonderful. We've talked about all of the first season. It's so wonderful to be back there in the grassroots and being able to do this. As we said, it brings us a little more life. You get to play with new things. You actually get to try things out, or forced to try things out and realize how good they are, and maybe even bring it out to your locals or out to other ones, as we see in many different ways. And that is great, and what I expect for the future of the metas. Now, there was an up of being creative and being back up there, but I did hear out there by a lot of the audience members that some of these metas might have been a little too intricate and a little too down to the nitty gritty. And I as a Sylph battler or as a grassroots battler, I did not feel that way. Did you gentlemen feel that way?
I mean, sometimes it's situational. I mean, it all depends upon the team composition sometimes. I mean, there is that ability. I mean, I'll say some were more simple than others. What was it? Rainstorm, I think, was 3 types, whereas Genetic was definitely very complex. But, I mean, that's the thing, is having those simple and complex, it keeps things fresh. I mean, as Lyle said, sometimes your meta may not be a month, and you may struggle a month. But at the end of the day, it's getting those battles in, and you're still going to have, overall a good performance. You may lose more than some, and that just happens sometimes. And it's hard to take, but sometimes. But it's finding how to be able to bounce back in a difficult meta, because it's like in play Pokemon. There's metas I absolutely loved, and there's metas I absolutely hated, but it's just figuring out how to just get through that as best you can and find as much success as you can.
Nice. Yeah, well said. Well said. That being said, we are now wrapping up the end of the first season. Let's now talk to Adelian, one of the amazing men behind the scenes here, the developers of this DevonCorps. He's going to give us a wonderful video breakdown of the meta, or of the rules, and what is to be expected of these battlers during this championship run. So, we are going to go now and check out what Adelian has to say and how the World Championship is getting played out.
Hello, Pokemon trainers. It's a pleasure to announce the Devon World Invitationals that are taking place later on in July 2024. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Adelian. I'm one of the people that's been working behind the scenes along with a fabulous team here to get these invitationals going and really give a grassroots solo.
Is there a way we can hear what Adelian's saying, so that way we're at least informed?
This is a really exciting event where we're going to have 2, probably 5 or 6 round tournaments on the 21st of July. So anyone high up on our leaderboards will get an invite to compete. The top cut, and that top cut might vary a little bit depending on size of tournament, but that top cut will then go into a double elimination bracket the 28th of July, so a week after, and then there will be financial prizes and accolades, of course,
sure you can still
for
hear it.
winning that as well. So
yeah, you can hear us on YouTube.
Our first or our inaugural Pokemon trainers. It's a pleasure to announce the Devon World Invitationals that are taking place later on in July 2024. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Adelian. I'm one of the people that's been working behind the scenes along with a fabulous team here to get these invitationals going and really give a grassroots solo format for all of you to enjoy. This is a really exciting event where we're going to have 2 probably 5 or 6 round tournaments on the 21st of July. So anyone high up on our leaderboards will get an invite to compete. The top cut, and that top cut might vary a little bit depending on size of tournament, but that top cut will then go into a double elimination bracket the 28th of July, so a week after, and then there will be financial prizes and accolades, of course, for winning that as well. So we will crown our first or our inaugural Devon World Champion, hopefully on Sunday, the 28th of July, and that will be live streamed as well. Big shout out to PvP Steve for helping with that. So yes, I am very excited to see who triumphs in this sort of the best in the world, turning up to see what they can do on an individual level with a variety of different Pokemon that you won't often see in Open Great League. So I hope you all enjoy it, and I'm very excited to bring you this show.
All right, Fish. Now that we have figured out that we shouldn't be talking while Adelian is giving us the rules and breaking it down.
Yeah, why would you do that, Smith?
I'm sorry. He's giving us so much great information right there, folks. That is Adelian, a wonderful developer, breaking down what the battlers will be doing. The top 64 of the leaderboard will be joining in a 2 tournaments on July 20th, and that will be broken down, and they'll be invited out there, and those 32 battlers will battle it out in a Swiss tournament, and the top 4 of each tournament will go on to the grand finals, right, on July 28th, and they will play in those 8 battles will play in a double elimination. Fish, there's prize money, there's metas, there's Swiss, there's double elimination. This World Championship has it all.
Yeah, and I like the Swiss into double elim format. I reckon that's the best way to run a Pokemon Go PvP tournament. It's there's discussion about when and if the play Pokemon scene is going to adopt Swiss into double elim, and I can't wait for that day because I think that is the best, most fun, most fair way to run it.
Right, I think Swiss for the play, like everybody gets to play, everybody gets a chance, and then everybody gets to grow. Even if it's a bad tournament, you're still battling somebody and learning what you could do to move on to the next one. It's not like, oh, I flew 2 hours to have 2 battles, and now after waiting 7 hours in between battles and half the day is done, I have nothing to show for. I didn't even get enough I got 6 battles. That's not even a full 2 sets. That's like 1 set and 1 extra battle. That is awful. That's not what we battlers want. We want to battle. We want to be out there to battle. So if they can adopt Swiss, it's wonderful, especially when you have big tournaments with 32 battlers out there where you want to battle other battlers. Man, oh man, how many times are you like, oh, I get an opportunity to battle like so-and-so? Like, how great would it be just to like get the opportunity, not even if you're doing well, like say they're having a bad tournament, right? We've seen it where, who's had like a good, some top person has had like a bad 0-2, like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I've done it.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like, but if you would have just, even if you were 0-2, like someone to have the opportunity to play against Fish on a Heater, who was top 16 in last year, that's gotta amp you up as a battler. Like, let's take that challenge on.
Totally. And so I'm digging that format for this particular tournament, the World Championship for Devon. Now, you said that it is happening in 2 tournaments of 32 apiece. Is that just a first come, first serve? Like any person who is invited can pick, and once they get to 32, then that one's full?
No, what is happening is they split it into time zones as well to respect everybody from around the world. So I think the first 32 is from like Japan, have like Japan hours, and then the next 32, what were the times again that he had up here, my friend? All you need is the times. There it is. 5 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. UK, 6 p.m. Japan will be for Europe, India, subcontinental friendly. So that will be for all those battlers from those regions. That will be their play time. And then 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. UK, 5 a.m. Japan will be NA Latinum friendly as well.
Mm-hmm.
So those will be the 2 times, 5 a.m. Eastern time. So if you're up at 5 a.m. Eastern time or 2 a.m. Pacific and want to jump in a 5 or 6 rounder with top battlers from around the world, that might be your early one. Or you could wait till 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Eastern time. But yes,
So
those
with
are the
32, that'll be 5 rounds, won't it?
5 to 6, yes.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
And so they're taking the top 4 from each to battle in the grand finals. So do you have any like picks on who you think will make it?
I love the top. Oh yeah, I've got ideas.
Yeah, I've got ideas, friend.
We've got the leaderboard right here, and we'll get into leaderboards with everybody too. And everybody's gonna have a chance. We're gonna do it with just talking about the rules, and then we'll have the guys next. We'll be talking about the meta and them this as well. But welcome to the leaderboard, ladies and gentlemen. As you see, we'll congratulate everybody in a second. But Fish, you asked a wonderful question. Do I have a pick on it? And I have to say no. And the reason why I don't have a pick is because of the Swiss option. If everybody loses once, then it could be a randomized top 4 where like Ryblet, who only has 12 wins and 7 losses, gets top 5, but Buckeye Fitzy, who has 13 wins and 6 losses, gets 4. Granted, they each went 4-1 or whatever their score was, but that could happen in this situation where Buckeye Fitzy, because he has 1 extra win in the matchup, could end up taking it. Granted, the records could still be 4-1 throughout the time. And with meta that we have coming up, it's anybody's game. You can play with anybody's playstyle. So I have ideas of who I think might end up in the top 8, but I know that with the top 64 that we have here, Fish, it's anybody's game. It's anybody's game.
Yeah.
You?
Look, I've played against Ryblet. He has wiped the floor with me every time. That doesn't happen very often. It's pretty rare for me to go 0-3 in any sort of format, but Ryblet has done it twice out of 2 sets now. I have been like running through tournaments and then matched up against him, and he's just found a way to, like, even those classic ones where you think like, yeah, I've got this in the bag, and then they just find a win con. Like that's what Ryblet does. So,
Sovereign Cup tackle.
Yeah, don't get me started.
Don't get me started on tackle down.
So if I have to pick someone out of like a lot of these players, like I faced against Jacko Loco as well. I've faced against I think I might have faced against SS Thorn, or maybe that's just in play Pokemon practices. I've faced against a few of these in the Pallettown tournaments, and like I know how good they are. So, but if I had to pick just one, I'd probably go Ryblet.
Ryblet, yeah. Ryblet was sort of, my practice guy. Like, in the tournament, I was like, hey, where are you going for tournaments? And he sent me to Pallettown, and he sent me to other tournaments. And then he would win them, and I'd be like, hey, can we get your footage so that we could show it off? And so he was like the guy you could watch live stream and everything, and watching his runs and stuff like that was just incredible, because he always found a way, even if he had the loss. Like, and this was the beauty of the metas too, was that you could lose the lead. I don't think there was one meta. I want to bite my tongue before I say that, because I feel like I know, because there were some that were RPS, but I don't feel there was one meta that was like, you're gonna get RPS no matter what. I feel like some things got a little RPS once people got a little more hectic in their team building, but people like Ryblet did pick it out. I got to play against Aspersalto, Jackaloco, and Right Force, and CO is a Beast. I understand why they're up at these top because they too found ways, but they were bringing in the craziest Pokemon team lineups, and I was like, oh my god, I didn't even think about these Pokemon. Bringing in, what did Seal bring in that I was just like, this is incredible. Oh, he brought in Barbaracle at one of them. I was like, oh, Barbaracle will be good. And then I think it was maybe Knockout or something like that, where you're like, oh, Barbaracle could be good. And then you played with Barbaracle and it didn't feel good. But then CO brings Barbaracle and you're just like, how did you make that work? And he does.
Real bad.
Right? So there's so many great battlers here at the top 64. Like, I'm just so happy to see that. And you said there are some of your locals on here too. I see Mudkip AZ, one of my local. He got it up on here, so good for him. Happy for him to see him make it into the top 64 here.
I'm a bit annoyed because like I was traveling, so I didn't get to play the last 2 months. I only got to play the first 4, and I came. I think we found I was 89th. So like, I nearly qualified, only playing 2/3 of the season.
Where are you? Where are you? Yeah, there you are. Fish on a heater.
Yeah,
You're not very spicy.
Disappointed.
Hey,
no.
Look, if we're going to talk about disappointments, let's at least give our shout outs and good lucks and maybe cross the fingers that they get the invites to number 65, 66, and 67s, and so off to Mama Climbs, Diorasaur, Curdy Wordy, Joey Can, Jackaray, and Dragon Silk. All of these names we've seen across the Play Pokemon scene or have come across the Pokebattle Network channel. They have been shown numerous amounts of times. It is so hardworking and battling every cup and just almost making it in. So a big shout out to them for making it to the last 5, round of applause. You could beat yourself up, Fish, but just imagine if you didn't do it and you were just 65th and not 89th.
That would be worse. Plus I was, traveling, which is I'd rather take that.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, congratulations to those guys for getting as far as they did.
Yep. It's been an amazing season, and it took a minute for the leaderboards to come up, but we finally have them. They're finally recalculated. These leaderboards are super fun. As you see, you've got Legends, Elites, Ace, Gym, and Novice. You've got win rates. You've got global percentages around here, threat percentages. They've really done a great job with DevonCorps giving us the leaderboard. So with all of these metas that we've had, with all of these battles that we've had, it is now time to talk about the meta that all of these battlers are going to end up doing. So we're going to kick it over here to our guys, Brown and Jeff. Fish, you have one more thing to say or anything else you want to talk about with the run here, the cash prizes or anything of this World Cup run?
Thank you so much to those people who have donated the prize money for this tournament. That's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Putting your money aside for a cause like that.
I mean, it's enough to get first place $400, which is a plane ticket to a regional or to Honolulu right there. So some of these battlers have some good money to be saving up for, or pay off that Italian vacation trip you just had.
Yeah, because I'm not getting any trips to Honolulu.
Dang it! Curses!
Okay, question. If there's anyone on the list of 64 who can't make it to their tournaments, do we know if it cascades?
Yes, it does. That's why we're saying good luck, and that hopefully the 70, those shout-outs to those who do get to make it, they do get the opportunity. You put all that dedication in there. You're such a great battler. Why do not get rewarded if somebody can't? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So thank you for them. Now, we're going to get into the meta, and Lyles, Jeff, and Brown Baller will be going into it now. So, thank you, Fish, and let's go see how those boys are doing with the meta.
Yep. What's up?
Hello, Lyle. Nice to have you back over here. How you doing? So
I'm good, thank you.
So let's look at the meta. What you thinking at first glance?
Yeah, it's interesting. Very interesting meta what they decided here to let in. It's kind of a mix of everything.
I noticed the same thing. One thing that I've stuck out first is the Cresselia. I mean, for me personally, Crest is a bulky Pokemon, and it feels very similar to how Lickitung and mons like that play. I always hate playing against Crest because I find it always lives and always finds a way to get off a charge move unnecessarily. But definitely having the ability, a lot of these restricted mons. I mean, the darks are pretty good hitting it for super effective, but it's got the ability to have Moonblast as well as Grass Knot, which will hit. Let's see here. Let's do a quick count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mons for a super effective move in the restricted format, as well as 4 for neutral, and those 3 of them being the normal type Pokemon.
Yeah, there's quite a few different. I guess they've grouped it here by typings. It looks like. So we have sort of like water Pokemon. This is like a bug, I guess. Poison, ground, normal, fighting. What is this? Dragon, grass, ice, rock, and dark, and then 1 fire type. So
the fire type that we see there, that Typhlosion. Now, I know I personally prefer Shadow Claw. Now, if you're looking at Typhlosion, what do you see in here? I see Shadow Claw. I think Shadow Claw is the play in this meta. What about yourself?
well, there is quite a few normal and dark types, but I mean,
are you really winning those matchups though? As is, against those normal types. I mean, maybe Munchlax, I guess, would be the best one, but I mean, Gradient's already going to beat you. I mean, Miltank with that rollout's also just going to already beat you. I mean, are you actually gaining much by having that shadow, by having that Shadow Claw, or losing much? I mean, sorry.
yeah, I mean, I would probably run Incinerate just because it's very oppressive for fast move damage, but I could see an argument made for the other moveset as well.
So, any Pokemon in particular that you're seeing here in the unrestricted that could be low-key sleeper picks?
Yeah, there's quite a few actually. Some very interesting ones. Like some of the ground types seem kind of interesting. I think Dragon in general looks very strong in this meta.
Mhm.
So, and you have quite a few options here. As you know, part of the requirement, I believe, is you can't overlap types on your team. I believe that's a requirement. I'm not 100% sure, but so you have to be very careful when you're building this out.
Yeah. Looking at the ice stuff, I mean, realistically, finding ice damage, especially for those dragons, is definitely going to be critical. Because, I mean, what is actually resisting the dragon type? I mean, I see Empoleon. It was Steel's Escavalier. And
there's no fairy types in the meta.
There's no fairies, yeah. So I mean, those are two much Steels I'm seeing. Oh, Excadrill too. Those are, I mean, none of those mons are really known for their bulk, truly. I mean, Excadrill is very glassy. I don't like Excadrill in Great League. I avoid it at all costs. But I mean, is there any mons in here you see that you don't really understand why they're actually there? Or you think you'd never use?
Things I would never use. I mean, maybe like a Pangoro. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's okay, but I don't see, like, I feel like there's other dark options possibly that might be better. Yeah, there's some weird ones that I think, like, I don't know if Vespiquen's any good or Ninjask.
Vespiquen's been decent before in previous metas. I think Ninjask is bad in every meta. I'm pretty sure it's just terrible in every meta. I think the same for Scyther. I think it's also terrible in every meta. I know our good friend Sojaflow, I think he's got his eye on one of these Pokemon. Do you happen to know what that might be?
Not sure, but I will like to point out that counter is not eligible in this meta. So if you're looking at things
Oh,
like
yeah.
Buzzwall or Toxicroak, like Buzzwall, you will have to be running a Poison Jab.
Yeah.
I believe that's the only other move it gets, but
Mud
just keep
Shot.
that in mind. Well, Toxicroak learns Mudshot, yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. And then also, if we look at, the one I was thinking, Ledian with access to that dynamic punch. I mean, oh, the counter's banned. Like, wait, that means Escavalier can't use counter. So like, Bugbat. Have you ever used Bugbat Escavalier?
Yeah, I have actually.
It's really bad. It's bad.
I mean,
It's bad.
could be worse.
It's bad. But yeah. So I mean, this can be.
It really destroys Cresselia, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like there's just better ways to beat Crest than. Although Crest, man, that thing looks so good in this match. I'm thinking those ghosts like Haunter are low key underrated. Realistically, I mean, as long as they can like do their job, and avoid a normal type, which I mean, the normal types are pretty restricted overall. Dark seems to be a little bit more freer, but actually, there's more normals I think I'm giving credit to. But yeah, definitely lots of mods here to play with.
Yeah, it definitely is going to be interesting to see how it shakes out and like which kind of route you want to take. Like we were talking earlier, there is the uniqueness of the Typhlosion, which I do like because it's going to be hard to get that type of pressure in there. Plus, you with the added adage of Thunder Punch, you kind of like can fight back against the main threats, which are the water types, right? And then another interesting one is a Regirock, I think, because
yeah,
it's just so spammy. And if you just look around at the meta, like if you have like fighting coverage, it looks pretty good in general, which you have the Focus Blast. And then I think rock damage actually looks pretty good in this meta too. So if you pair those two together, I think, and especially the fact that there's no counter, right, which is the main thing that like some of these mons worry about for the fast move damage. Yeah, I think Regirock also looks very interesting.
All right, call me crazy. Rock throw Regirock.
Rock throw?
Rock throw Regirock.
Yeah, I think you are crazy.
I don't think it's as bad as you think it is.
I think it probably is, but
rock damage is pretty good in this meta. Let's be honest here.
I mean, it is. You can go for like if you're looking for some more consistent like rock fast move damage, you can go with something like Dunsparce potentially. Credilli has like a rock slide. So,
looking at something real quick, I happen to notice on the leaderboard that there's this man in the 7th position. Do you ever know who that is?
I'm not too familiar. Can you enlighten me, please?
He goes by the username Lyle Jeffs III. You ever know him?
Yeah, I've heard of him. He's pretty good, I heard.
Yeah. Has he got any like secrets that he maybe wants to reveal to the people?
It's interesting that you mentioned that because, like, honestly, this meta is kind of fresh to me still. So I'm still like, every time I look at it, I'm kind of like learning something different. So there might be something that today looks, not as good, and tomorrow looks very good. But yeah, some of this, like, one of the first things that stood out to me again is like how good the dragons look. So I'm not sure if are we allowed to talk about any of the restricted picks yet, or are we still talking about the unrestricted picks?
Yeah, we can talk about anything.
Because I mean, if we know the dragon's really strong in this meta, like there's usually the king of the dragons is Altaria, right? So I think like there's a strong case to be made for having Altaria on your team. Or like, and Brown Baller was saying Cresselia as well. Like some of those mons look very strong. And then again, though, like finding a way to get ice into your team is very important. And if you want to go for the water ice types, you really have to go unless you want to go with Lapras, you have to go into the restricted as well. So there's going to be a lot of very difficult decisions. Also, the fact that you can only have one shadow on your team, you really have to decide like what Pokemon do you want to be shadow.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
a great point. So, like, if you look at the shadows, what, in your opinion, is a waste of a shadow pick, or maybe an overrated shadow pick?
That is a good question here. I mean, it depends, I think, on your team in general. But like, let's say Jumpluff, like I'd say the regular is probably good there. Um, Poliwrath, again, you might be able to get away with the regular in this meta, depending. Um, like Sableye, I haven't looked at the matchups, but a lot of times in these custom metas, the bulk of the Sableye can really help you. But if specifically if we're looking at things that do require shadow, I think like Typhlosion is one of those ones, or Gyarados if you're looking at it, like those types of mons really do benefit from the shadow. Gallade as well, from that extra shadow damage.
So one thing I'm just not really seeing in this meta, maybe I'm wrong, I'm
Mhm.
seeing a significant lack of grass.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, there is a lot of dragons, and I mean, water is pretty common though.
I mean,
Like,
I think is it Jumpluff and Tangrowth the only grass types in this meta?
oh, you also have
Oh,
Credilli, but that's
ah,
under the
delete.
rock slot. So,
Ah, so
mhm.
what are your thoughts on Toad with access to that community day ice beam? And maybe, if you're feeling, spicy,
Mhm.
could, run Ice Beam Earthquake, but you're probably not running that because you like winning. But, having access to, all three, Scald, Weather
Mhm.
Ball, and Surf, I mean, Shadow Politoed with that Ice Beam, I mean, I think it could definitely have a pretty menacing play on this meta.
Yeah, yeah, I think Polito does look good. There's quite a few water types, for sure that look interesting. Again, Politoed. I mean, if you are running that though, you do get walled by other water types, so you kind of have to like balance that, right?
Mm-hmm.
How you want to have it played out. Um, so it's definitely going to be some tough decisions because again, do you want to balance like coverage against water types, coverage against other ice coverage, water coverage, because there is some things that you do want to be hitting with like the
Yeah.
water, like the ground types.
Mm-hmm.
The like some of the dark poisons and stuff, like you can really hit hard with like a scald or something like that. So, or an earthquake
Mm-hmm.
potentially.
And I know we briefly mentioned on his brother, Poliwrath.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you really have access to the entire kitchen sink in this meta. You can personally run my favorite moveset, and that's Bubble, Pup, Icy Wind.
Bubble pup, okay.
I mean, it covers everything. I mean, what was that one meta where we had, was it Ember, where we had Charizard like dominant everywhere?
Mm-hmm.
I loved running Bubble Pup Poliwrath because it was really fun because I found Charizard really annoying. But we don't have Charizard in this meta, but I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Bubble Pup Poliwrath, I mean, if they're going to get rid of our counter, we got to get creative some way. And, they're not thinking that we're going to run something crazy like Bubble Pup Poliwrath. Or we could, or we could run Mudshot Pup Poliwrath.
Mm-hmm. I think Mudshot pup is a little crazy, but I mean, depends.
Imagine shielding a pup bait because your opponent doesn't know the moveset and then landing a Scald or an Icy Wind or an Ice Punch right on that dragon.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that would be pretty devastating.
So yeah, lots of play. I mean, I feel low-key Poliwrath definitely might be a
Poliwrath looks very strong. I mean, there's a reason they banned counter, right? So I think anytime you can get some sort of fighting, anytime you get some sort of fighting coverage, into your team, and the fighting and ice coverage, I think looks very strong in this meta. There's only a few mons that would like completely wall that moveset. So
Mm-hmm. Now, I guess, is there any more closing thoughts you have before we transfer it on over to Fish and Sosa?
no, I think definitely for now that's mostly everything. It's going to be very interesting to see how everything shakes out here.
Hello? Hello?
Hello? Testing? Ready when you are, Sosa?
What?
Turn it over to you.
Are we back? Something I cut out.
I believe they're muted.
Well, I'm not. I don't know about Sosa.
I see the button right there, Sosa.
Yeah. Yeah, can
Yep.
you hear me? Well, I was waiting for the group to mention the returns. I mean, I was waiting for you guys to return to talk about the return. So, I mean, yeah, do you and Fish have any thoughts on the return meta, the meta that was, going to be 6 times return? I think everybody personally, we don't need shadows. We have return. We have return Drapier. We have return Skuntank. You bring your return Typhlosion.
There's tons of
You
return users. Yeah.
You bring your return Polycraft.
Return
Cadillo. I don't. Is that Great League eligible?
Yeah,
Actually,
yes, it is.
how many of these with return are even Great League eligible? That's the real question.
You could do return. Let's go. Return Polytoad, Blastoise.
Oh, but here's the thing: like, are these level?
Whalmer,
are these level?
Wall Lord, and Poliwrath. Those are 6
Yeah, but
right on the first.
no,
line.
but you have to remember they need to be level 25 or lower.
Can all
plot
none
thickens.
of them?
Return Jumpluff.
Yeah, return.
Yeah, return Jumpluff. Yeah, return Jumpluff definitely can have return. I know Skuntank can have return in Great League. Let's see here.
Lapras can have return. Regirock can have return. Kingdra can have return.
Well, yeah, they can,
Radiant.
but will they able to have return in Great League is the question.
Hippowdon can have return. Nidorina can have return. Grimer
We're-
can
okay,
have return. Muck can have return.
Nidorina, I think, return actually might be his preferred moveset.
Yeah.
Return Armaldo. Anyone?
Is that 25? Is that at level 25 or below?
I'm out. That's it. I'm out. I'm here for it. I'm
let me
here for
look that
return
up.
Armaldo. I don't know either.
Yeah,
Big.
This meta
Yeah, well,
is
you-
great. This meta has so many opportunities, and there's so many Pokemon. Like you guys said, without that counter now, unlocking so many different things and making Pokemons be different types of usage, right? You can't use that counter on Poly, but Bubble Pup now get real creative. And I don't know if anybody else recognizes this, but this has been the kind of MO from Devon since day one, where they really want you to bring your playstyle, your kind of battling attitude, whether it is bringing Poliwrath and people are like, okay, it'll be a mud shot, it'll be super easy, and then you're like bubbling down, it's actually a water fighter against all the grounds and fire out there. I mean, Pup on Bubble against Frostlass could actually put some really good damage down on it. So there's some interesting play like all around, which is what I love about Devon.
So I did just look it up. Polywrath cannot have return in Great League. It gets too high CP.
You're just breaking our hearts.
Lame.
Way to
But you can run. Celio with Body Slam return.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
baby.
mean, tons of return battlers out there. But as we were saying,
Now, hang on. Why would you want to give up Aurora Beam?
So you can return stuff because people aren't going to shield it. Let's be honest.
I was about to say, why are you giving up Water Pulse?
So you can return stuff.
What's worse now, Aurora Beam or Water Pulse? Like, they're still so bad.
Aurora Beam definitely worse.
Yeah, probably
Water
doesn't
Pulse-
do as much
Water Pulse got
damage.
buffed.
Yeah, it lost
But-
a little bit of energy, so it doesn't take up too much now. Great.
But you
still-
can run. but you can run return Quag.
You can.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a definite thing. That is possible.
You can
And-
return Umbreon too, and I believe return Miltank.
You can't run either of those because they're not shadows.
Umbreon is Shadow. You can get Shadow Umbreon.
It's
Shadow-
dark, but it's not
you
shadow.
can- Oh, I thought
There's
you
no,
could
there's
do
no,
the thing.
nope.
Okay.
One day.
One day, yeah. I'm
Anyways,
waiting for that
we're
day.
on the-
Shadow
we're on the
Eevee.
reel of
The little
return.
red eyes. Little beady little red eyes.
More red eye from this Umbreon as if it isn't. But here at Poke Battle Network, we love looking at metas and breaking them down and giving you our picks and letting you know what we think are going to be used by all the battlers here. So tonight, with everybody here, we've invited Pallettown PVP to give us their restricted Pokemon and then 2 Pokemon that they think are going to be used from the pool down there below. And let's start off with top number 7 in the world, Mr. Lyle Jeffs here with his picks, because we just want to hear from one of the top 10 in the world. I mean, who better to start us off with?
Yeah, I mean, Cresselia is always very strong whenever it's allowed, and as we were talking about earlier, there's very limited steel types in this cup, which is the main thing that threatens Cresselia. So it's like the moves that it has can kind of like give it very broad coverage against the meta, and it's very bulky, right? Frostlass, I think. Should I talk about the other ones, or do you just want to talk about the first one?
We'll talk about your set of 3. Absolutely.
Okay, I think Frostlass is just a very good sweeper in general, and it's the Avalanche Shadow Ball combination.
Okay.
Seems like it's going to hit almost everything for at least neutral, so it gives it a lot of like flexibility on your team. And lastly, I put in Dunsparce because I felt like the combination of rock plus ground coverage seemed very strong in this cup. Like a lot of teams were kind of weak to rock or weak to ground. So, because there's a lot of poisons, there's a lot of flying types, some ice types, fire types. So I thought it seemed like a pretty interesting pick there, sort of like a flexible all-arounder.
Nice. It was wonderful in the Sovereign Cup, and Frostlass is Frostlass. Like, well, no one's arguing with you on these meta picks.
Yeah.
They're great. Like, literally, you guys had touched up on it a little bit that there's not that much rock damage out there. So if you can pick up rock damage, absolutely. And especially if Frostlass does become big or these dragons do pop up, that's good play right there. Nice. Nice. Brown Baller, sir. Let's get your top 3 right there. Your picks of 3.
Well, I started out with restricted. I felt Urian's really, really annoying. It has access to 2 fantastic fast moves, and 1 really, really good one, but you're not really going to use Bullet Seed anymore. I don't think so in this meta. I think Mudshot's just going to be better here. But, I mean, you will be able to just be spamming body slams like crazy. I think Crunch is definitely going to be the second preferred moveset. I mean, Trailblaze, I typically prefer it with Tackle more often than not. But, I mean, yeah, the one thing I've noticed is, even I think you can't go wrong with either of them. But, I mean, you're just going to do well against your counters. The thing you don't really want to see is, the fighting types. And there's no counter. So, you have 2 shields. So, if your opponent doesn't really have any fighting move pressure, you're probably not going to get a super effective move if you can control your shields well. And that's also why I went with Regirock as well. I mean, you're going to force your opponents to hit you with, not fighting moves. You have to hit it. Water is going to be a little more prevalent, so Regirock could be a challenge to face. But I think you can only have 1 water Pokemon on your team. Am I not correct there, guys?
Is it?
I mean,
Yeah.
you can have 2 Pokemon from the restricted area, so whatever you want, could be Walrein and Quagsire, or
But is it? No, but it says be warned. They must not share typing.
Is that just the restricted
Just
mons you
restricted.
pick can't share typing, or?
Yeah, just the restricted can't share typing. So you can still
Okay.
go down, then complete your roster with these Pokemon.
Oh, okay. I was unsure about that, but thank you for clarifying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's a little bit.
Finally run that all water team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All but 1 water team.
All but 1 water team, right? All water and Cresselia with the grass knot. So
Yeah.
you're just ready to take on whatever.
I mean, with all the waters, I mean, like, how are they going to do into the other waters? I think that's going to be the key metric that a lot of them face. A lot of these waters are just overall glassy. I mean, outside of PvP Steve, has anyone actually made Whelmer work?
I mean, okay, it's
you can make it work. I think I played with it in a meta, and one of these. I think I played it in Knockout Cup because Water Gun is very, very good, and it's got Body Slam, and it's got, I think it got Scald or Aqua Tail, which makes it so
it's got Scald.
It's got Scald, right? So now you're dealing with a lot of that pressure, but they just went on a massive Thunder Punch Christmas spree here, and I agree with Lyles that that Thunder Punch Shadow Claw Typhlosion might be real sneaky for a lot of players. But yeah, no, I don't think they did that, Brown. Yeah,
so I mean, sorry, back to the picks. The Regirock, I mean, I personally would run Stone Edge Earthquake for that, rock ground coverage where you're only walled by the grass fighters, which are not in this meta. So you will guaranteed hit everything for neutral damage no matter what, similar to how the Dunsparce operates. But you can really use it in a lot different scenario. I personally would lead Regirock because you can really set your team up in your backline to try and get as much success as you want, because you're going to be spamming moves that people do not want to eat. Stone Edge hurts. Yeah. Altaria is shielding Stone Edge. It is 100% shielding Stone Edge. Mandibuzz probably will let the first go, but I doubt it. You're really going to just do a lot of damage to a lot of these mons. I mean, the biggest thing is just avoiding the Quag. And if your opponent didn't pick Quag, you don't face it.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing you're going to see. Is the restricted's really set up the thing of if the opponent didn't bring it, you don't have to face it that batch. Some other opponent might face it, but you got to hope that someone that may have a better comp that you are more favorable against, which is restricted, is able to take out those opponents that do have a less favorable comp into you. So it's really going to be, a little bit of luck and trying to manage that Swiss format. And then the last pick was Ufisk. I'm kind of, the more I'm seeing the meta, I'm not as much loving Ufisk, but overall, I mean, I just didn't see grasses, so I'm like, it could low-key be a sneaky pick into how people build their teams. I mean, there is a lot of mons that Ufisk can do very well into overall, and I mean, it's, again, the whole mons I brought were all really, really neutral, so they're not necessarily going to be that mon that just beats your opponent into a pulp. They're going to be that mon that just is a good enough safe swap or generalist, and I think all three of those have that characteristic.
That's a great analysis. Yeah, they look really safe. I mean, we've seen them throughout the entire season. Greet it and playing so great with either Bullet Seed or Tackle or Mudshot. It's become a great utility Pokemon. And you have pointed it out, and both of you, again, made it very clear and dominant that Rock could play so well. And without counter, normal typings really do come to shine now and get their chance to be a good team builder for your team. And we're not just talking about Vigoroth either. So I question the Yuva Fisk because of all of the Mud Boys out there, whether it is Quagsire or I saw Marshtomp, you see a bunch of other ones out there, but like you said, depends if people come out. They might all be benching the Mud Boys because you don't need it. But if everybody's bringing Mud Boys, then maybe that will be good with the, maybe Greedent then with Trailblaze might be the way to go as you go through more practicing.
Yeah. And you can see, if Mud Boys really pick up, based on how people build their comps, I mean, it may not be that crazy to bring Bullet Seed either. But, I mean, it's all just going to come down to comps and everything. And, I don't like Marshtomp. I've never liked Marshtomp. I think it's very underwhelming. If people are able to find success with it, more power to them. I don't like it. I think it's not great. That's my opinion.
I've got a soft spot for Marshtomp because I brought it in my team for the first ever Sylph regional championship. So I like it for that reason.
I have a soft spot for Marshtomp because I brought it for Boulder Cup too. I was like, it was so good. It was no Hydro Cannon yet. It was Surf, and it took out the Skarmory. It was like the anti-Skarmory.
Well, Marshtomp doesn't Marshtomp doesn't get Hydro Cannon.
No, I
Yeah,
this was
that's
pre-hydrate. That's what I was
like
saying.
this
It was
is pre-Hydro Cannon,
cannon.
so like Swap
Yeah.
wasn't a beast
Right.
back then.
But
Yeah,
wait, was
Swap
Boulder Cup? Was Boulder Cup double Scarm Cup?
Yes, that was
Uh-huh.
the double Scarm, double Medi, double all of that. So if you had a Marshtomp, you're looking pretty good. You're like, yeah, come on, Surf. But that being said, you have a great lineup. And so, wonderful team pick 3 right there. Neutral Fish. You got some spicier ones up there.
Yeah, so just taking a look at all the other restricted picks, I thought Empoleon might be good into a lot of them, and I went especially with the Shadow Empoleon because it gets a few more wins in a few more shield situations against some of the more prominent picks. Like for example, the Shadow will be able to beat Mandibuzz in the 0s and 2s, where I believe the regular only gets it in the 2s.
Okay.
Same with the Cresselia. It'll beat Cresselia in the 0s and 2s as well. Walrein, it'll be able to beat in the 1s and 2s, where the regular will lose the 1s. So, yeah, I'm definitely digging the Empoleon, the Shadow Empoleon in particular. And I thought I'd do something pretty innovative with the rest of my team, where I've paired Empoleon with a dragon, which I don't think anyone's done before. So Goodra is my second pick, and I think Goodra is something that has just a fair amount of coverage against the things that can threaten Empoleon. So obviously there's no counter around, so it doesn't have to worry about that. So it's really worrying about and there's not much electric damage going around either. So it's really mostly worried about like the ground types or the things throwing ground damage. And I think Goodra does pretty well into a lot of those Pokemon, like your the Hippowdon and things like that. Beware is just cute, and that's why it's in my team.
Excellent.
Beware is not cute. Beware is a savage beast that will rip you to shreds. Okay.
Yeah, it'll do it.
I sense some
though.
I sense some hostility, Lyle.
No. I know a specific trainer that's favorite Pokemon is Beware, and if you call it cute like that, he will end your life. So.
Oh, okay, cool. All right,
Beware
noted.
it is so cute. Like you just want to hug it. It's like the last.
Yeah, but it will kill you with its hug.
Yeah, that's the thing
lore.
though.
So
The
will
Pokedex
Snorlax, but
entry.
you want to
like,
sleep on top of them anyways.
Valid, fair point. I also another really good reason for Beware is that it beats it beats a lot of Lyle's picks if you play it right. So
You also have a really
That's important.
good move set on there too. One of the few that have fighting move, right? Since counter's banned.
Yep, that's right. And also the option of Payback or Stomp as the other move.
Yeah, Beware the Cresselia counter. Yep.
Hey,
Yeah,
Drain Punch, beware.
Drain Punch, let's go.
Let's go. Is that defense? I forget. Is that defense, right? It drops.
It raises your defense and drops your opponent's defense.
Are you kidding me? The Cresselia gone. Cresselia who? Frost
Yeah.
what? Chomp, 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 chomp. Yeah. Avalanche me all you want. Shadow Claw, Shadow Claw, Shadow Claw, Shadow. What is Giga Drain, Mike? 35 or 40? Is it 35 or 40 energy, right?
Giga Drain.
Giga
Wait,
Drain?
what?
Or draining, sorry, draining punch.
Okay,
Draining
35,
punch.
35.
35 energy? Come on. 7 Shadow Claws, and we're just doing more super effective fast move. Beware is a ferocious cutie pie.
But seriously, if I was in Worlds, I would not run Beware. Don't do that.
But you suggest it for people to run it in the Worlds.
No, okay. So you know what? Here's I'll be real with y'all. I came up with these 3 before the official rankings were up on PV Poke. So I was looking at the rankings like, oh, Beware's like looking pretty good. And then like I look at the official rankings just before we come on, and I'm like, oh no.
Are you kidding me? You can't, like, if I learned anything from some of these like metas where you have to go and pick random Pokemon, right? you can't really bank off that because they're good because other people brought the top whatever Pokemon, or they're ranked because of the top whatever. You could only bring 2 of like the top 10 you can only pick 2 out of the top 10 Pokemon. After that, it's everything down below. So like I think Beware, you could, just like the Poliwrath, I think someone could have some really good time really going at it because like it's been showing, there's no fighting move right now. And if you've got Shadow Claw and you can boost that and you can put hurt on the normal typing and then chow down that Cresselia or Frostlass or whatever ghost that's out there, right? And you're also boosting normal for the neutral against the normals as well. Like, I feel like Beware, don't fall for the rankings is all I gotta say.
All right, well, okay, so let's play this quick game.
Play this quick game with me because I love.
I'm gonna
people get excited. Yeah, let's go.
I'm gonna go down the list of the rankings on PvPoke, right? And each Pokemon I name, I want all 3 of you to say which one you'd rather have. So like the first one being Mandibuzz. If I call out Mandibuzz, you say you'd either rather be the Mandibuzz or rather be the Beware in that situation, right? So next one's Cresselia.
So wait,
Beware.
Are we not doing Mandibuzz?
We'll go Mandibuzz. Yeah, would you rather have the Mandibuzz or the Beware in that situation?
Is it Snarl Mandibuzz or is it?
Let's go Snarl.
Snarl.
Yeah,
I'd probably say Beware.
Oh, this is so easy.
No.
I'll probably say.
Yeah, it's the Beware. I take the Beware because the Mandibuzz has no health and I have 100 energy and I just farm something down.
Super power rate out of the sky.
That's fine thinking. All right.
Damage is not do anything.
I'll take the Beware because it has no health and I have 100 energy.
Yeah, same thing.
Okay, I'm banning that situation from you.
I decided to put Giga Drain, Draining Punch instead of Superpower because I don't like debuffing myself.
Yeah. I'll say the situation. The Crest took out my entire team, and all I have left is Beware. And it has a little bit of health left.
All right, Shadow Poliwrath. Would you rather have the Beware or the Poliwrath?
Beware.
The Beware.
Poliwrath doesn't have counter. I'm taking Beware.
Yeah, I have shields.
It's got a Dynamic Punch though.
That's what I have shields for.
Cool. Dynamic Punch is 50. Draining Punch is 35. I'll get to my 3rd Draining Punch. I'll get a shield. Like, we're gonna have
That's not how math works. All right, Shadow Glade is probably the first one I'd probably rather have.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think Shadow Glade is good. I think it's bad.
I think Hakamo. Yeah. I would say Mandibuzz and Hakamo would be the first 2 I don't want against Beware. The others, I feel like I could get shields. I can make my team work against them. With Beware, I feel like you have a great Beware. I know you're trying to be like, you see, they're all top. Let's just go down the line. Mandibuzz, Cresselia, Mandibuzz, Cresselia, and Polion, Hakamo, Altaria, and Quagsire. 6 out of the top 10 Pokemon are restricted. So you're only getting 2 of them. And then Beware can do anything else to everything else. Like, that's just, like I said, I don't follow the rankings, but I see.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I understand, like, it looks so good, though, against everything else. So don't fall for the rankings. You have a good pick there, buddy. You have a good pick there.
I feel like Slowbro and Golduck are the only ones I really don't want the Beware because that confusion kind of hurts.
Yeah.
Wait. Hold on. Hear me out. Who wins the ones, Charm Gallade or Beware?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Charm Gallade. What are we?
It's a Shadow Gallade, right?
World?
Yeah. Wait. Wait. What's beating Charm Gallade? I mean, how's Charm Gallade do versus Hakamo? Actually, how does it do versus a lot of stuff? I bet it does really well.
Gallade's the only one that knows how to
disagree.
Gallade's the only one that knows Charm in this meta too. So. Look,
Charm, it's kind of good.
It's kind of right. Surprising.
Charm, Shadow, Gallade versus Mandibuzz in the ones with Snarl.
Oh no, Gallade.
I mean, Air Slash would definitely beat Gallade, but with Snarl,
Gallade because I 2-shield my Charmer every time.
Yeah, but like, are you still grinding down the Mandibuzz with 2 shields?
Probably. I'm gonna try.
I'm telling you
All right,
right
let's
now,
fi-
I'm not having Beware and Gallade Charm on the same team. I'll give you that. Like, that's crazy. I won't put that matchup on there. But Charm Gallade, I would invest 2 shields. You might find that. I feel like you could find that. Find the Pokemon that's going to put that terrible pressure down, that really heavy hitting weak Pokemon that you can invest 2 shields and then have the neutral Greedent, have the neutral Registeel or Cresselia soaking up all the energy. Like, that is a play style that could happen. This is why I just love these metas. DevonCorps providing it. But yes, Fish.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I guess also Glade has confusion too, which kind of like destroys Beware.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that move.
I'm actually shocked to find out that Charm Shadow Gallade beats Mandy in all even shields.
Let's go.
Right? Because it
Charm!
survives an aerial ace with like a quarter of its HP left and gets to a close combat.
2025 season Charm Gallade. Give Charm one more
Let's go.
damage or
Look at
one more energy, please, and then
Charm needs buffs badly.
I think if Charm gets buffed, I think it'll be a different monster out there. Umbreon and a lot of these fighters won't feel so comfortable.
Like,
But-
they need a buff Charm and they need a buff Razor Leaf again.
Excellent. Fish, is there anything else on your 3 Pokemon? I know we kind of went on a weird tear there, but you have a great pick of 3 here with the Empoleon and the Goodra with your Beware. Like, any final thoughts on your last 3?
I just want to officially change the Beware pick to Shadow Gallade with Charm.
Yes!
The Charm. Okay. It will happen. We'll get that up there for everybody. We'll fix that in post. But thank you for your pick of 3. On the other hand, I went with the Mandibuzz as the restricted because looking at a lot of the restricted, looking at a lot of stuff, I noticed there aren't steals. There's no fairy out there. And I felt that I don't really want Snarl. I'd rather have Air Slash because there's a lot more things that Air Slash will hit for neutral damage. And with all of that fast move pressure, I prefer that. So you can do Air Slash or you can do Snarl. Either way, great Pokemon to have because of things like Cresselia that just pops out there. Some of these fighters, some of those neutral, real thick, normal type Pokemon that are there in the matchup. So I really like this Pokemon. I think Mandibuzz is going to have some good play all around. I'm a little scared of Drain Punch Beware. I feel like that could be a thing. Gotta be on the lookout for that. But I don't think many battlers will be rocking it. I also don't think a lot of battlers will be rocking Rock, and if they are, I think I can get that Dark Pulse off in time and do some extra good damage and put it to halfway done and get the rest of my team to do damage. And the rest of my team, I was like, oh my goodness, there is no grass out here and the waters are running wild. Get out of here. What is happening? There's only Tangrowth and Jumpluff as the grass type Pokemons that are out there on top of the Crawdilly with the rock typing, but the waters still affect that because some of those waters have that ground type of earthquake or have mud bombs. So is Crawdilly gonna be safe enough for you, especially with Bullet Seed? So I went with Jumpluff because it's got that Fairy Wind, which is just a mud shot with the clone. So you're just building up the energy. You got Energy Ball, you got Acrobatics, you can have Return, you can have Play Rough. This Pokemon, I feel, is going to be very, very good for some battlers who want to have it. The Fire Pokemon that are out there is just an Incinerate user, so you can definitely hit it with some good damage and either get the shield or nuke it and get it off the table. That's my thoughts on the Jumpluff, especially with the rocks flying around. Then you get my favorite. Oh, I'm so happy you didn't tell everybody. Brown Baller, thank you for not telling everybody. He's like, I know there was something that Sosa was happy about. I got on the Furret phone the minute Brick Break came out for Sovereign. I picked it up and I was like, let's go Furret. Let's do it. The amount of spam and damage. We talked about it earlier in how most of these metas, you had this like anxiety that down to the wire, last second knockout, fast move, coming down to it. They have a shield. It comes to energy and fast move. You can't really throw anything. And so I went with Furret because it's got Brick Break, which debuffs my opponent and just does so well with the tackle. And then it's got Dig. Now there's no steal, but Dig is so neutral against those ground, against that rock typing, and hits all those poisons that have that dark typing to go against Cresselia, or those ghost poisons. We haven't really talked about them. That Gengar Haunter Bro combo, that's a real dangerous combo out there that might be something that you can put, that you might be aware of if you're seeing all these Cresselias. That 2 combo right there could come out and could put some good pressure down, as they are good spam and high attack hitters. So those are my 3 Pokemon right there. I feel like those 3 Pokemon are going to give any world champ or any world finalist a good opportunity to either get shields or give them that lead opportunity that they need.
Yeah, that's a killer analysis. And that's making me want to run for it.
Right?
In like my wasteland battles.
Yeah, you didn't even mention Hyper Beam for it.
I don't even care. I took Ferret with Brick Break. Once it got it for Sovereign Cup, and I played it with Gym Breakers, and I was the macro play was so incredible because you get to, it's so thick, it doesn't go out right away. There's not counter out there, so you're soaking up just normal moves. So then you can throw the Brick Break, swap out, bank the Brick Break in the back. You're not debuffing yourself, and it's only 35 energy. It just makes sense. Like, I hate Superpower. I think Superpower is the most BS. I actually love the fact that you can put Dynamic Punch on both Poliwrath and that Toxicroak, which could have Mud Shot, right? It got Mud Shot, but Poison Jab as well. So I think if you're not seeing those confusion users, which I have to ask you, Lyles, now that we've gone through all of this, you're not seeing these confusion users, do you bring a Toxicroak? But Lyles, my man, is Cresselia gonna rock confusion for you? Is there a higher chance for Cresselia to rock confusion for you?
I would say it is a possibility, but I think just in general, I prefer Psycho Cut because there is dark types in the meta, such as Umbreon, Sableye, Bandabuzz. So it would really only help you versus some of the poison types. So I don't think I would run it, but I mean, it is a possibility.
Good. Gents, looking at all of our teams, we've got some good fast move Pokemon out here with like great fast move damage. I noticed that's a theme. Do you feel like that's going to be the way to win? Something with a good fast energy move? Like Powder Snow, Lock On, you got Dragon Breath right there. Some good, quick, fast moves to actually, not for energy wise, but to get that final chop, 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 to just get those last little, 2 HP.
Yeah, fast moves win games. Charge moves win games. Fast moves win championships.
Is that a Brown Baller quote, or did he?
I made it up. I made it up right on the spot.
Just right on the spot.
We're gonna
Yeah,
coin
I might
that.
get
Coin
tattooed
that
on my face.
immediately. It's a great one. That's a great one.
Me and Lyle have talked about this before. How like we always prefer Pokemon that have a decent balance of the two. Like they tend to be the most dynamic Pokemon, the ones that can adapt to the most situations, the ones that have enough fast attack pressure that you can pivot and fast attack something down if absolutely necessary, but then enough charge and attack pressure to be able to burn shields to set up the rest of your team or to close out a game if needed. So those ones tend to have the most use cases.
Yeah, and you can't block a fast move.
Yep,
True.
100%.
100%. Gentlemen, these are amazing picks. I hope some of the battlers of the top 64 do look at this and will take them on. Who knows if one of the top 10 battlers, maybe number 7, might take an opportunity and take some of these Pokemon into the World Championship run with him. Who knows? But we'll have to find out on July 20th as battlers will be getting ready to pick these Pokemon. I can't wait to see what these battlers are going to bring. And let's take one more look at the leaderboard, gents, because we have come across a lot of these battlers in most of our journeys, and it's been absolutely incredible to see some of them with their ranking now. Lyles, you got 7th, which really awesome. Congratulations. Have you come across any of these battlers?
I mean, yeah, there's I've mainly been doing my tournaments in the beginner to winner Discord. We have, I think, quite a few people that are qualified from our Discord. Buckeye Fitzy, Khaleesi Fitzy, I think Blind Flip, I saw him in there. BTW Dino. They're maybe a bit down further, but Quackman, I believe, is there.
Which Discord is this?
The beginner to winner BTW Discord.
That's right, BTW. Who doesn't love the BTW tournaments? Yes,
so it is a Patreon Discord, but feel free to join, and we do these monthly tournaments. And I was fortunate enough to do pretty well on most of them, but it's a fun time.
Now, they aren't really doing much on the analysis side, but they have always been such great grassroots supporters, and they love hosting this. Wildcat as well put the remotes up for once a month, and it's just another tournament to get on there. Another great community, more NA based, but absolutely incredible all around.
For sure.
Fish, any thoughts here on some of the leaderboards? Some of the 4 battlers? Is there a battler up here that you think gonna make it to Worlds? Are gonna do great to this final stage? We'll just go with grand finals. Anybody you think gonna make it to the grand finals?
You were talking about this dude that I haven't met before, but I think he might put in a solid run. It was that Lyle Jeff I.
Oh, the third? Jeff's the third something? Lily Jeff the third? Is it not Lily Jeff the third?
No, there's only one Lyle Jeffs. It couldn't possibly be the third.
Regional champion Lyle Jeff? Yeah. The legend himself.
They should call him Lyle Jeffs the first, because he ain't finishing third.
I'll take a third. I just want to see if I can make it to the Well, this is for we still have the qualifying tournament coming up, right? So
the top 64 will go to the qualifying tournament. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So, come third in that one, and then come first in the finals. I dare you.
Gents, I noticed. I see a lot of my rivals that I've seen on my path and journey in the top 64. Is that the same with you guys? You guys see a lot of names that were in your tournaments that have played in BTW or in Pallettown, right?
Yep, definitely. I was mentioning it early in the stream. Rivalet is one of them. Jacko Loco.
Jacko, yeah.
Yep. The CO as a beast might have played in one or two of our tournaments, if I can remember.
I played against him in Knockout Cup in Pallettown.
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, a few of these names. And so it's really good to see a lot of them here.
Yeah, it really is. You host these tournaments and you hope that, the winners get their chance to get the opportunity to go to Worlds and be able to show up, because there's so many regions out there. But it's wonderful to see that, you guys who provided these platforms and BTW can continue to provide a platform, a monthly platform for battlers to come to and feel comfortable to bring in their new play style and just have a great time with people that they've seen either through a month or 2 months ago is just wonderful. And this is a great reward as a TO, as an organizer. This is kind of like the reward you want to see your guys in the top of the list and have them go to fight to make it to the top of the world. And thank you, Fish on the Heater and Pallettown PVP and BTW for doing that for people in the tournaments, because it absolutely is an opportunity to get them out, especially since it kind of still feels slow. I don't think we have everybody in the world yet to be battling, but you have these locals, you have these small people that coming and they're joining and they're battling and they're continuing to show up. And now they're being rewarded with a great opportunity to get on the main stage this July 20th. And it's just awesome that we get to have grassroots back. I promised myself I wouldn't say that, and I almost said it.
That's
but
right.
yeah.
No one noticed.
No one noticed. Great for you. That's gonna wrap it up for us with the leaderboards. Brown, we didn't ask you your pick though, real quick.
Well, if that's gonna wrap us up for the leaderboards, I mean, I think I noticed a few names on there. Honestly, I have so many friends on there, so I'm like, I'm rooting for all of them. And now the friends watching right now, I'm rooting for you. So like, there's so many people. I want so many people win, but I mean, I think this could help transition to our next segment. I think there's a guy on there named Adelian, isn't there?
There is a lad named Adelian on there, and yes,
I think he's number 24-ish, I think, or somewhere around there. Oh, 22. Yeah, I think doesn't. I guess I think he has another statement coming up, doesn't he? Or am I ahead of myself?
You're right. You're right on time. We'll get right into it with Adelian on this statement. But thank you. Yeah, that was great for the leaderboards. Let's see what Adelian has to say here in the last statement.
And absolutely Pokemon trainers, it's a pleasure to announce the Devon World Invitational scene. Devon is coming to a little bit of a close with the first season, but as for those of you that don't know me, my name's Adelian. I'm one of the people that's journey working behind the scenes along with a fabulous team. So here, what can you expect going get forward? We're hopefully going to really give a grassroots solo format for all of you to enjoy. This is a really exciting event where we're going to have two probably 5 or 6 round tournaments on the 24th. To have this amazing journey with you all on the grassroots PvP scene. Devon is coming to a little bit of a close with the first season, but that doesn't mean we're going anywhere, because we are of course very keen to see this journey continue that little bit longer. So what can you expect going forward? We're hopefully going to have a longer season in the future once we get things set up. We will hopefully be applying a little bit more polish to the website, making sure that leaderboard is as good as it can be. And also, if there are any tweaks that need to be made, maybe the rankings team will be involved with that. Hope you guys will bear in mind that this was a little bit of a beta season and we were getting a lot of things set up along the way through the season. So appreciate your patience. So what I'd ask for is for more of you to give it a try, take part. We will give more details on how to be most effective at climbing up that leaderboard, and hopefully we can have an even bigger setup in the future with more world championships to come, more sort of legacy reputations built, and so hopefully people will look and do Devon. They will do, of course, their team-based formats, the official circuit, and they will be able to enjoy each and every mode of playing Pokemon Go PvP for its own reasons and have a really enjoyable experience. Thank you all, and I look forward to seeing many of you in a battle very, very soon. It's been absolutely awesome.
All right, that is it with Adelians. Thank you. He did. It's amazing that they gave us this wonderful season and a wonderful time out there. So appreciate him jumping out there and giving a good, big old thank you to everybody. And thank you, as always, to the battlers, the TOs that showed up to DevonCorps tournaments this season to help make it even what it was this year. Without you, we wouldn't have had tournaments. There wouldn't have been TOs. There wouldn't be a leaderboard. There's at least 400 people out on this leaderboard right now that participated this season. And next year, there's going to be a heck of a lot more. We are so excited that this is back. We have different metas. We get to play with different puzzles and create new things. And I just love it. So thank you, Adelian, and thank you to the DevonCorps battlers for providing and giving us this season. Gentlemen, that's gonna wrap it up for us tonight. I just want to say thank you to the Pallettown PVP boys for joining us. These men for hanging out and giving us their thoughts on this. You guys have been so amazing this season, Fish and Lyles. Like, it's just been wonderful to just go and watch you guys and give us your other ideas and thoughts on what could work in metas. Really, really love it. Thank you.
Our pleasure.
Yeah, not a problem. Thanks for having us on. Definitely a lot to think about as we head into this World Championship. I'm going to have to step up my game.
Excellent. We hope so. Can't wait to see what you bring and how you bring it out. Fish, how can people get a hold of all the greatness that Pallettown PVP provides?
So Pallettown PVP is a YouTube channel, Twitch channel, and Discord server, Twitter account as well. It's probably the easiest way to access everything we do is to find us on Twitter at Pallettown PVP, and there will be a link in our bio to everything else that we do.
Awesome. Thank you. I mean, it's incredible. You guys hosted amazing seasons, hosted a great series. So you guys are great. It's been wonderful having you on stage. Lyle, can people find you outside of Pallettown?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitch at Lyle Jeffs III, twitch.tv. Or again, you can find me in the BTW Discord as well, or on Twitter under the same name. So,
excellent. Congratulations on both your world runs this summer, as you have an incredible feat ahead of you. I'm sure you're really excited, as the rest of us are like, what are we doing now? Like, there's no new meta. There's just no season. Like, what do we do now? So real jealous that you get to still have that hype and get into it and get fierce and have battles that mean something. So good luck out there, sir, and enjoy all of that world's run.
thank you.
Brown, what a season, my guy. Thank you so much for always being at the side here and helping provide a different outlook on all of these metas.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I mean, definitely a fun season. It's gonna be a lot of fun, preparing all this content for upcoming worlds, and maybe we can get another video 2 or 3 out, before the end of the season, and see what we can really do to provide some amazing content. I'll be over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/brownbar10, and then hopefully on a couple more videos with Sosa as we try and find out how to really engage the community and really put out the best content there is for you guys' entertainment.
Yeah, because season 2 is gonna come, as Adelian says, so we want to be able to give you all of that and get it out to you. That's what this was about, because like the gentleman over at Pallettown PVP and us and the gentleman over at Matthew Brewer's channel, there wasn't that much content going out with Devon, so these are some amazing content creators that bring up amazing analysis. Go and watch all of them, even on their spare time. If it's not Devon, they have fun, play Pokemon or GBL style battles. Go check them out on their channels and go give them love, because it's incredible their thought process and the Pokemon they bring out. That's going to wrap it up here at Poke Battle Network. Thank you all for joining us. Really appreciate you all for being here for the entire 2-hour run of our DevonCorps World Championship Guide. That's going to wrap it up for us. I'm Sosa Flo. This is the Poke Battle Network. And like always, keep on battling.